What's the deal, ladies and gentlemen? We're back with the weekly Xbox Beastfire podcast with the same crew, minus the pony. I had to keep the Xbox off my man. Shout out to Porter Rock, man.
Yeah, man, you did an awesome job. Yay, Puerto Rock. Great.
Porter Rock, man, it's crazy, man. Y'all motherfuckers are crazy with that shit. But anyway, we're back with the weekly podcast. We got a few things that we're going to talk about today. The name of the show is gaming. You know what I mean? Is headed in the right direction. The reason why I said that, I had an interesting conversation with a few people that's within the loop. I'll just say that. Can't say any names. I hit you guys with the Batman base, take you back to the Batcave. And it was, of course, again, it was a whiny ass indie fucking developer. Okay, and whiny ass. Me and the guy had a fucking argument, right? But anyway, no disrespect though. And he was, because of Microsoft and Sony, what they're doing with introducing mid-cycle upgrades, to say the least. And they're saying that we know it's not there, but raising some concerns that maybe the gaming industry may crash again, like it did with Atari. We had all that bunch of shovelware on the Atari 50s, whatever, for the Atari back in the day. Nintendo, give credit when credit's due. Nintendo did revive gaming back in the. When did Nintendo NES come back in 85, 86 or 87 or 88? Whatever year it came out and was in. I think we're all on board with the Scorpio, whatever they do, and we're excited for this new hardware. But do you see this concerns of some of these smaller developers? It was two of them sent inside the Skype call that we were talking to about they fear that the gaming industry may crash. How do you guys feel about that? Anybody?
I don't think it's gonna crash. I think both sides of the party feel that their industries are thriving. So I don't think the industry directors feel that way. I mean, small developers might feel that way only due to the fact they were making games for last cycle, and then suddenly, bam, you have 2 more cycles to worry about. So you might crash, you might run out of money. But I think that as long as the head studios don't feel they're crashing and they feel their business is thriving, I don't think it's something that people can point an eye at.
Dean, what you think about that, Dean? Bullshit, the guy being a worrywart, or do you see the concerns of this guy? Or these guys, there's two of them.
I don't know too much about those guys. Are they like little indie devs? Like,
well, no, yeah, they're small developers. And they was, I guess, voicing their concerns of saying that they don't want it to be, hope the gaming industry is not going in their way, like Sega was dropping console after console after console back in the day. You know what I mean? And I was going back and forth with the guy. And I'm a console gamer, and I understand. I mean, what you call it, enthusiast, the hardcore. I would call they would call me a consumer whale because I buy every guy. But again, like in the day, at the root, I'm a consumer, and I don't have a problem with mid-level upgrades. You know what I mean? Because, like I said, you don't have to upgrade. You understand? No one's getting left behind. So me personally, I don't see a problem with options. You know what I mean?
Well, I think gaming is going forward. Those devs, I don't know if they're just small developers and it's.
So they're what I mean, nothing like EA or Activision, nothing like that. But small.
Okay, well, I'll say this: the new hardware that's coming forth is actually gonna bring gaming forward. Because we're going to have new experiences now. We're going to have better graphics. We're going to have higher resolution. We're going to have higher frame rates. We got also VR coming in. So gaming is going forward, and the more powerful hardware is pushing it forward. If we were going to stay on 1.3 and 1.8 teraflop machines for the next 10 years, then yeah, maybe it would crash. But it's not. It's going to go forward. And with consoles going forward, PC can now go forward. Yeah. And and then the cycle continues. You're going to these new systems, the power that they have, we're gonna get new experiences. We're gonna have some CGI-like type of graphics. We've already had a few little sprinkles of it within this generation, and that's with really weak hardware. So imagine what we're gonna have with really good hardware. what's going to be possible. So I gotta disagree with this. I think it's great going forward, man. I think we're gonna take a next leap now. I think this is a new leap. Like the Xbox One and the PS4, they weren't really a big leap. Like yeah, it was better, higher
Mm-hmm.
resolution, but it wasn't like how it was when we jumped to Xbox 360 or PS3.
Yeah.
It wasn't like that. It was like okay, yeah, it's better frame rate, higher resolution, yeah, but it didn't like wow us. I think the next generation is really gonna wow us. And like VR, I've tried VR, I've tried all of them. It's really when it's done properly, it's excellent. I can't even put it into words. And that's gonna open up its own little segment. They need to lower the price on that, but going forward, with HoloLens coming in somewhere down the line, down the future. I think gaming is looking bright, and the industry is not saying otherwise because they're selling these consoles like crazy.
Yeah. We do have to take into fact, man, both the Xbox One and the PS4s are currently still outpacing last generation. But I mean, but anyway, let me get your thoughts on it, Dean. This developer, just I guess just stepping outside of the box. You know what I mean? I know how you already feel about the Scorpion Neo, but do you see the reason from concerns from these two smaller developers that I was talking to?
To me,
No, dealer.
oh,
No, you said Dean a second ago.
I'm sorry, I'm a dealer. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all good. First off, I just want to get this out here real quick because I got a lot of people leaving comments on the video you and I did like a few weeks ago. That was the last video we did on my channel. I've been on vacation, fellas, so I'm heading back home this weekend, and I'll have videos up again. I just want to get that out there because I realize not everybody probably sat through the whole video and saw that part where I mentioned that. So yeah, videos will be coming later this week. And in regards to this guy, we're not developers, but in my mind, the mind of common sense, I would say that they're probably in all of history and indie devs being a thing. This is probably the time where you shouldn't be bitching because no longer do you have to, do all this work and then instantly the whole install base just disappears for the next console.
Good
It
point.
just doesn't happen. It's not going to happen anymore. And with the UWP, we've already had people like the guy who did Shovel Knight say that it only took him a day to X1 from the PC. Unlike, sorry, you got some people in the background. But yeah, with the
That's me?
UWP, they're already saying it's
Oh.
somebody does. I don't know.
Oh, I'm in here talking about my damn self. What the hell's going on? I'm sitting at my desk. Like, I thought that was one of y'all girls
ghost behind you,
No.
dog. It's a ghost, man.
No.
It's like Titanfall Prince. What was this man scoring Titanfall Princess? What the hell's going on?
Yeah, I don't know, man. But yeah, with the UWP, you think we've already heard from the guy that did Shovel Knight. He
Mhm.
said that it took him a day instead of several weeks, like it would have with the UWP. I think these guys are just kind of afraid of change, like a lot of gamers, and they don't really know what's going to happen until it happens. So I really don't think they should be complaining too much. They're not going to be losing any install base ever again. Xbox is a platform. You go forward from here. So
Okay, you know what? Okay, you know what? All right, all right, all right. And let's see. Then play the devil's advocate here. And something I've said, and it was crazy as hell. If you guys haven't seen last week's BGST watch, it's funny. The panel jumped the fuck out me again. All this racist shit America's going through, they're gonna jump the only black guy on the fucking show, right? But any fucking way, right? So, and again, just common sense. Forgetting who I talk to in my personal life sometimes. But anyway, like I told, actually, I think it might have been Mooch or Tim. I forgot who the fuck it was, but I was saying to them, I said that I got to give credit to Showstopper because he more or less he was saying it first. You know what I mean? He was saying for gaming to move forward and whole PC gaming have to move forward. Like I said, in that 8 and 9 years that we spent in the last console generation was very very unhealthy for the industry.
that's common sense too. I mean, the
Very-
developers at the time were saying it. Gamers were saying it. We're tired of this bullshit. That's why I got a gaming PC. That's probably why you got one. We were tired
Yeah,
of
you
waiting.
know what I mean? It's just starting to look dated, look stale, and wanting for something new, something fresh. And some of the people that are voicing their opinions, I'm not talking about developers, I'm talking about consumers, gamers. Their first generation may have been the 360 or the PS3. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Normally a console cycle lasts 4 to 5 years. You get something new, and that's it. But I've said this before. What was bad about this generation is that when we got the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4, being that both Microsoft and Sony, they're greedy, they're companies want to make fucking money, and you have in between the both of them, you have at least 180 million install base between the PS3 and the Xbox 360 that they were still developing for the PS3, the 360, the Xbox One, and the PlayStation 4. You know what I mean? So you take a game like Destiny. I gotta get that on the. You know what I mean? You understand what I'm saying? So regardless if just say the Xbox One had 35 gigs of RAM, and we know that 360 has a half gig of RAM, that game still has to fit around the parameters of a half a gig of RAM. You understand what I'm saying? You know, there's even though the Xbox One version may look a little shinier, a little prettier, but they couldn't fully max it out because it still has to be the same game more or less. That's on the 360 is what I'm saying. But anyway, I said to say this. So playing the devil's advocate here, right? So he was saying that as far as the consumer, gamers are going to feel like they gotten burnt or getting shaft. What if you just got the PS4, the Xbox One this year, and they're coming out with something, which is cool. And again, like Phil and like Sony said, they're not leaving their consumers behind. Now, maybe 2 years down the line, they might say, this game couldn't be done on the, how they get with that shit. This game couldn't be done on the vanilla PS4 and the Xbox One. It's cool. And again, I don't really have a problem with that still because, we're talking about some technology that came out in 2013, which probably is bullshit because check it out. The 360 came out in 2005. Still getting games for that motherfucker. You understand? It's 2016.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't have a problem with getting back what I really wanted to say. So on this show, BGST, right? And we were talking about, crap. It's just like fucking he's so fucking old school, pulling teeth with that motherfucker. And he was saying, Phil would have said that, that this is not something, whatever, I guess saying that we're not going to get nothing after the Scorpio. The Scorpio is going to be around to 2022. I said, bro, that's, even whoever I was talking about, maybe they didn't give him crap, but.
I bet Scorpio will be around until you find something that caps 4K.
No, that's not even so much, bro. It's not even so much that. What it is that you have, this is a business, a competition. You know what I mean? Sony they should started leaking first about the Neo and 4.2 teraflops, right? So leaking first, right? So now you have the Scorpio, and I said Microsoft needs more than just a Slim. It can't come out. I've said it here on this show. Just come out there with a Slim and that's it. It's business is competition. If not, if you stop competing, you're gonna be in that box that Nintendo's in. You see what the fuck they're so far left that they don't know what the fuck's going on. So I say you best to believe that Sony, forgot their financial situation and what they may have. You know what I mean? And again, 6 teraflops sounds good to us right now. This is in 2016. By 2019, that's not gonna be a big deal anymore. I'm just being honest. You know what I mean? If you got cars that are coming out every year, they must have just released a 1060. For range, you understand what technology.
Here's the difference, though, bro. With this generation, a lot of people say, "Oh, it wasn't that big of a leap." Well, I mean, technically, the X1 is 6 360 stacked, right, in power, right? You went from 0.25 T-flop to 1.35, 1.4. It was technically a leap, but all of that power went to running modern engines at 1080p or 900p for the most part. All of it. So we spent all of that power just running modern games and modern engines at 1080p. So it just wasn't, with the Scorpio, it's different because that thing's gonna be capable of 4K, right? It's gonna be capable of 4K, and in 5 years from now, it can still run games.
Oh no, I'm not.
Good settings at 1080p, no problem.
I
mean, there's just a big difference there.
I want to say this, and something I've always said, and also told me, resolution does not determine better graphics. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
okay,
don't get us wrong. It's the more the better.
But what I'm saying is this: that Microsoft already has an advantage over Sony. They're on the console. So especially like everyone's on this 1080p crave this year. Not everyone's on this 4K crave now, right? So there's only one console that we know. We don't know what Nintendo's doing. The only console we know so far that's going to be 4K native, and that is the Xbox Scorpio. So you expect Sony, like I was telling them, to stay with this box, the weaker console, for 6 years and not come out with. They're going to continually leapfrog each other. So you best to believe whatever comes out after the Neo will be more powerful than the Scorpio. That's just how it works. Business. Yeah, I mean, you know what I mean? With the Scorpio, and Sony's can't. What do you mean they can't make nothing else? Like, what the hell is that? This is what they do. They're a hardware company. You know what I mean? I don't give a fuck if Sony got to fucking find some change in the couch.
I don't understand why people look at that as a bad thing, because that means
no,
the next after Scorpio is better. You know,
yeah.
like
So I would say this. So the Scorpio comes out in 2017, right? 2017. The Neo is out in what's this 2016. We're probably seeing something else from Sony probably about 3 years, 2.5 years. You know what I mean? They are still they emphasize on the point this is just a PlayStation 4. You know what I mean? So we may see the PlayStation 5 probably about 2018 or whatever. I don't know if they're supposed to stay with generations or 2019 at its max. I see 2019, 3 years.
well,
We're
as,
gonna
Yoshida said a while back, it probably ain't going to be a PS5. They'll probably,
whatever
PlayStation's going to be a platform just like Microsoft.
The earliest they're
actually,
gonna come to market is 2020, man.
I'll be
And this
surprised
thing,
if they
here's
can
what-
make a 20. If they can actually make a PS5.
No, just hear me out. That's what I'm saying. I just don't see Sony just getting their teeth kicked in as far as just that's all it is.
It doesn't matter because it takes years of R&D
I get,
for
bro.
them to get for them to get a new box. They're
Listen.
not they can't come up with anything till 2020. They
No,
can't.
here's
It's
the
not
only
gonna
thing
happen.
is because let's believe once the Neos this year, they don't sit on their hands and say, wait, no.
Yeah, but they go in R&D. They gotta do R&D for at least a couple of years, man. No, it's not gonna happen. It's just
I
not.
I would like to make a gentleman bet with you that we're going to see something else.
No problem. Let's do it.
By you're going to start. Here's the thing, again, because here's the thing. Well, you guys are you start forget Sony's financial problem, whatever you think, because the PlayStation is
Sony
money.
doesn't have a lot of money right now, though.
Okay, but the PlayStation is
Sony has 34 billion.
Sony's being kept afloat right now by the PS4. Now they're
okay.
bring, you know,
I get that, and I'm not negating that, but what I'm saying to you, that's their only business that they had that's constantly making money, so they're not going to gimp out what's making them fucking money. It's a competition.
When you
Well,
develop
that's-
consoles
that's-
that close to each other, though, you're actually losing money.
Yeah, you're losing money. The PS4 is gaining money, but the company is losing money. So you basically had a
maybe if they were
balance.
farther behind, like right now, they know they got a massive lead, so they're not too worried about, some scaled up stuff on the Scorpio that's going to cut into much of their sales right now.
Oh no,
I really don't see them coming out with anything before 2020, 2021.
Sony. Listen, what got Sony over this generation? They had the better versions of the multiplats. I tell you guys, show after show after show, exclusives are okay, but multiplats rule. There's not one exclusive that outsells a popular fucking multiplat. I don't give a fuck how you spin it. Fact. So you're taking away your fucking ace. That's been Sony's thing there. Okay, they've had the better version of. Now you're taking it away. So you think Sony's going to wait around for 4 years of, just, what I mean? Now, 'cause here's the thing. You're not selling them with software anymore. We're just, hypothetical thinking here. You're not selling them with hardware anymore. So guess what? They're going to come out with something also. You know what I mean? And then, again, here's the thing. I guess it's like, we just getting this. But us as gamers, I believe in my heart of hearts that every 3 years, we're going to see a refresh. Now, if you choose to move with it and keep going forward, you can. If not, then stay, you can stay here. You know what I mean? I just, bro, AMD, shit is moving. They just announced a 1060 that's more powerful than the goddamn,
I agree with you every 3 years, but 3 years is going to be 2020.
Oh, it's 2016 now.
Yeah, but it's coming out the end of 2016, so you might as well just call it 2017.
Well, I'm just saying, what I'm saying, like I said before, you're going to start hearing something about something new from Sony about 3 years from now, 3 to 4 years from now. That's what I'm saying. And then and probably seeing something new by Microsoft in 2021, 4 years. Everyone.
I think it'd be once every 3.5 to 4 years.
I think if Microsoft is smart, they're gonna build the Scorpio with the ability to use the add-on GPU through Lightning port. And then they don't gotta even worry. If something powerful comes out, they can just have an add-on that adds another GPU to
but
it.
if people are still willing to buy hardware, I don't see that changing for a while. Just to be honest with you, I get it. We can just plug something in and keep it moving. But as long as the motherfuckers still want to buy hardware, you know what I mean, or not fussing, they're gonna sell us new fucking boxes. You know what I mean? But there's everything.
That's options, right? You get what you pay for.
Yeah,
either way, you're getting the graphics you guys have been clamoring for years now. I'm talking to people in general.
Yeah.
So I don't see the negative. If you got the money, go for it.
Yeah, I just think it's a fanboy way of thinking to think that Sony's not gonna come back and compete. Like, you're bugging. We've been counting Sony. How long have I been doing YouTube?
Oh, of course they will, but it'll be 3 years.
I'm just saying, I've been doing
4 years
YouTube since 2013 or some shit like that. I've been predicting the doom of fucking Sony since then. These motherfuckers, you know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. I give credit where credit's due. You know what I mean? But like I said, but you know, honest, I want them to come out with something. But why? Because then Microsoft is forced to compete. I know what Microsoft is going out there.
They
And
don't need to come out with anything after Neo. That's what I'm saying. Everything right now with the Scorpio and the Neo, everything now is it's resolution because you have enough power with 4.1 T flops on a console to do 1080 60 max settings on pretty much everything right now. So that's what I'm saying. From there up, you're just going to be seeing extra resolution for the foreseeable future.
Sony they didn't upgrade anything. I mean, they got you know the well. I guess if that motherboard that Sony, I'm sorry, that Microsoft showed, we're talking about at least 12 gigs and a
Yeah.
higher memory bandwidth. You know what I mean? So we see how they're getting 4K. You know, I mean native.
I
And
saw.
I'm sorry, yeah, go.
I saw something interesting on the
Mhm.
net this week. It's happening with PC. Doom.
Yes.
They actually
Vulkan?
dropped Vulkan.
Mhm.
Now, I have an AMD GPU, and after they dropped Vulkan, I got like a 20 to 50% increase on my frames per second. It just blew up. And then they said to use the highest anti-aliasing, because if you don't use the highest anti-aliasing, the async compute doesn't kick in. So I actually put it to the highest one, TSSAA or something, and I got increased frames per second on top of that. It was unbelievable. So going forward, Vulkan and like a properly done DX12 is going to be phenomenal. It's going to be phenomenal. Like on
Isn't
some of these
Vulkan
games,
competing
yeah,
with DirectX 12 though?
yeah.
You know,
So
so how's that working? Because you have Windows, right? You're using Windows, so you have
yeah,
Windows 10. So you got.
yeah,
So how
Windows
was
10.
you able to take advantage of Vulkan? How explain that to me? I'm lost on that one.
Well, I have Doom from Steam, so it
Yes.
updated today, and it
Okay.
added the Vulkan API. And of course, my AMD driver I have the latest one, and it has, of course, the Vulkan API on it, and it activated async compute on my GPU, and it increased my frames per second from
Okay.
20% to 50%.
Okay. So right now the Vulkan. Oh, so then you can have two. Damn, bro. So you can have two APIs. Or I guess whatever. I guess firmware, whatever is on the GPU that you have from AMD or from NVIDIA. Is that
He's
what you're saying?
Well,
asking
yeah,
is Vulkan working on top of DirectX 12? That's what he's asking.
no,
Yeah.
it's working. It's working.
It's
It's working
taking the
separately.
place of.
Yeah, it works. But it's they're all kind of based off the same thing, anyways, because Vulkan is based off of Mantle, DX12 is based off of Mantle, so they pretty much work similarly. It's just that Vulkan they've implemented it much better than DX12 right now because like
It's
all the
right
games
from
that we were
AMD though.
promised. Yeah, it didn't work on the
Yeah, that's
Nvidia.
why.
Yeah, it didn't work on the Nvidia cards. They said that they're gonna hope to implement it in the future, but the problem is that Nvidia doesn't have proper asynchronous compute. They do it through a
They try
software
to do it through
solution,
software, which isn't as good at all.
preemption and some shit like that. So yeah,
Okay.
and it's not effective. So they saw like a 1% increase, and I think in one game it actually negative scaled down.
Oh shit. Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But going forward, I was thinking going forward, I was like, holy shit! So now if they really implement DX12 and Vulkan the way they said they were supposed to implement it, a 6 teraflop console can easily do 4K 60 frames per second because I turned off one. Well, it doesn't use both GPUs in that game, so my one GPU I put it up to 4K, everything cranked maximum, and I got about 50 frames per second with everything turned on. So little tweak here and there,
And that's with
I'll
a
get
car
60
that's
frames per
weaker than
second.
Scorpio and not as optimized as a console will be.
So I think how they're gonna achieve it with Scorpio, I think they're really gonna put to use the low level APIs of like Vulkan and like DX12 because Vulkan runs on Windows 10 and let's not forget Scorpio's Windows 10, man.
Yeah,
Hmm.
but basically, going back to our first discussion debate, what I'm just basically would say, just like I said, for PC gaming to go forward, you know, what I mean, console it has to drag us, you know, console, you know, for gaming, not even PC game, for gaming to move forward, you know, what I mean, they have to drag us. Well, I'm just saying, you think about this, and don't get me wrong, we're talking about console gaming. That 6 teraflops sounds like a lot in the fucking console. What I'm just saying about 2019, could you imagine the cards, the graphics cards from AMD and the video? Into whoever. You could imagine what they're going to be? 15 teraflops, you know what I mean? So again, that's not going to really be a big fucking deal. You know, just like going like 3 years from now or 4 years from now, I'm like, we're going to be used to. It's going to blow our minds at first, like, oh shit,
True.
fuck, we forever, I guess, pushing the envelope. You know, when games get talking about better and better, we want bigger and better worlds, shinier and prettier graphics. Just think about this. You can imagine. I remember us going from the original Xbox and PS2 to the 360 and the PS3. And the first time I saw NBA Live, it was dog shit game and Need for Speed playing in HD at 720. That shit blew my mind. I was like, oh shit, this shit is. I mean, and then like I said, we didn't get many old shit moments this generation, but Rise stood out. You know what I mean? For the Xbox, that was a very, very nice looking game. Even Killer Instinct, that you could definitely with tessellation and particle effects. We didn't have that last generation on console gaming, and that's something that caught my eye when I was playing Killer Instinct, and Jago was doing this whole and there was little pieces of fire all on the fucking screen when he blocked it or whatever. I was like, oh, shit, it's particle effects. So we didn't have that, you know what I mean? Because there was no like DirectX 11 on previous consoles, you know what I mean? But just imagine, I'm just saying, just going forward of what we're gonna be fucking rationing, you know what I mean? Like I can't like that, bro. I'm excited. Like I really.
Yeah, I mean, obviously with time you're gonna get more, right?
Yeah,
but
what?
Here's
I
the
feel
difference,
like
though, man. That's why I'm like, I don't really care because 6 T-flops is so much power for a console. Can we all agree that a game running at 1080p, like the Uncharted 4, for instance, looks fine. The 1080p image looks great, right? All the people in the comments, of course. I mean, it looks fine. 1080p with anti-aliasing on it looks great. To me, there is no need to waste processing for high resolution over better textures, lighting, things like that. Now, with Scorpio starting out today, let's say it came out today, you're running modern games at 4K 30 higher ultra settings at least. Some games at 4K 60, right?
Yeah. I got the
All right, so here's the thing that's going to happen with Scorpio. When games get more demanding, instead of going down to a shitty fucking low-ass resolution like 200p, you're just going to hit 1080. You're never going to go under 1080. Games are always going to look great in that regard. And then they can it's all going to be 60, right? In 3 or 4 years, they can still run 1080, 60, great settings on the graphics. No problem with 6 T-flops. No problem at all. I was doing that with a GTX 660 for years.
I mean, you know what? To be honest with you, it's me personally. It's never been the resolution, and I don't, and I'm just being honest. I probably couldn't tell the difference from 4K native or 4K upscale. Like I can't tell the difference between really 1080p native or 1080 with dynamic resolution. It's not me. I just like better, better text.
That's why
you just like the latest
the reason
shit.
I mentioned that, because the reason
you know what I mean.
drop resolution is to keep settings moderate or high.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
You don't have
I
to do
just
that
want
anymore.
This, like I said, this mean, and was also was told me about the vote. It's not really so much about, and I'll put it to you in layman's terms. You guys know what? No, it's like if you can play. I say this all the time. Super Mario World in 4K resolution. I'm playing God of War 3 on my PlayStation 3. My God of War 3 is gonna look better than that graphic, and that's what I mean. At the end of the day, so I'm not really so much. I mean, the resolution, that's cool. I just like pretty shit. I don't want my my games to be prettier.
And that's exactly my point, man. Is you don't have to compromise anymore. Yeah. 1080 will be the minimal. Settings will be high for 5 years. I mean, you're not going to see bad-looking games on the Scorpio for a very, very long time.
I mean, like I said in the day, unless I don't know what Epic or Ubisoft, whatever indie they may be making, if you're like, we don't know what the fuck.
Well, I mean, Epic's already said, and this is one of the things Tim Sweeney said before these came out. He said these X1 and PS4 need a minimal of 2.5 T-flops to run Unreal 4 how they want it to be able to run. Yes. And this is 6 T-flops. So not only can they run this engine, but they can keep iterating and make it better and better. And that's actually one of my theories behind the Batman remaster. A lot of this stuff, we all know UE4 is not good enough for these consoles. And I think when these consoles come out like that, Batman remaster is running on UE4, I think they'll patch it and they'll show you what it actually should look like.
Okay.
Things like that. Future-proofing the engine.
Okay. All right. And I'm glad you said that right there. We can lead off on that right there. It says here that games are being future-proof for Project Scorpio Spencer, because I've heard this 150 billion times. Well, the Xbox Scorpio is not going to give the Xbox One games any better frame rates and resolution. I mean, if games that a game that came out before the console launched, okay, fine, we'll have to probably go back and be patched. But games anything that releases for that console going forward, but not even so much that. Look at it like this, and you want to say I got a tinfoil hat and fuck you and fuck your grandmother. When they showed Forza Horizon 3, right? The real shit. When they showed Forza Horizon 3, they showed it playing on the Xbox One And they said, you know what, you can take, you got it digital, you can play it on the 4K, PC or whatever. Same code, right?
You're
And
basically
that's what I'm
playing the
telling you.
PC version when you get
There
Scorpio.
you go, when the Scorpio. So if I can play it 4K on a Windows 10 desktop PC, I can do the same thing on my fucking Scorpio. It's just gonna, because with the it scales up to the highest spec, or scale down. It just, I don't even fucking be playing a game on a cell phone. And it's when they have one code for DirectX 10 and Windows 12, and that was ingenious by Microsoft, to save developers a lot of money. You know what I mean? So, but what I was saying to you guys, do you see some of the developers going back? Say if we take a game like Rise and Crytek and throwing a patch in there, making that bitch 4K with PC textures and all that. I still have mine, but do you imagine how probably there'd be another boost in sales for that game? Developers,
Bro,
they
I
can't go
think
back
that
and.
I think that all first-party studios should maybe. I see why maybe Forza won't. They're like, we need to get the people we do have on this game, kind of a niche title, racing games that don't do the greatest, over to the newest one and see the new stuff and buy the new console for it.
Good
But
point. You
like
know
The
what I
Witcher
mean?
3, the games like The Witcher 3, Fallout 4, maybe even Arkham Knight, games like that, they really
Uh,
should have been developed for something like Scorpio, and those are obvious candidates to be
but you know
ported
what,
or
though,
patched.
Miller? You remember I did a video on this back in the day. Maybe you saw, maybe you didn't. But the developer from Batman Arkham Knight, Project
Said that they
Cars,
could.
go
Yeah.
back and patch their fucking game. And like I've always said, if they can do it on a PC, they can do it next. It's the same fucking code. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And again, I don't trade my games. Anything I bought, I still have. But you see how Red Dead Redemption shut up the fucking Chelsea chart. Like I said, that would breathe life to some of them
It
older
really is. It's a big selling point. People will go back and buy your fucking game.
Listen, great minds think alike. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? How many people may have skipped out on getting a certain game, Star Wars Battlefront, just say that because that's 720p on the Xbox. When they're going to drop that patch on that bitch, that's already a beautiful looking game. Could you imagine that shit looking at running in 4K? Like, god damn, oh shit, I'm definitely fucking your grandmother. I'm fucking your grandmother. I'm fucking everybody's grandmother, bitch. Like, you know what I mean? I'll be losing my mind. Everybody getting
Yeah,
together on this
as good
month.
as it looked, yeah. I mean, if people knew it looked better, they're gonna, obviously you can't
Yo,
tell me one motherfucker is not like, okay, I'll go check it out. It's gonna help.
Yeah.
4K is real life, man. I play
But
that game in
Battlefront 2,
4K.
that comes out the
Amazing.
year of Scorpio. That will be a big title for Scorpio. Battlefront 2.
Okay. So Battlefront 2. So here's a question for all you guys.
Yeah, it comes
You
out
know,
2017, right?
yeah, okay, all right, but 2017 Battlefront. What I'm saying, what do you think is going to be the big exclusive for Project Scorpio? Or I got one better, Xbox 4K. What do you think is going to be? What do they name this shit? That I mean, I like the Xbox Scorpio.
I
What do
mean,
you
it's
think
simple.
Xbox
It
4K.
tells you what it's for in the name. I can also
That's
help you
kind of
keep you
slick, right? It did
confused.
Xbox 4K.
I'd predict Crackdown
Xbox
3.
Infinity.
I bet Crackdown 3.
You think that's going to be the big launch game for it?
Yeah, either Crackdown 3 or Halo 6. I pick one of
Yeah,
those.
it's gonna
Halo
be.
stick
I think
about
it's gonna be
3
Halo.
years.
I'm telling you right
You
now,
think
Crackdown.
when do we get a Halo?
Isn't Crackdown's trying to use the cloud, not local hardware, so that wouldn't make sense to me. And secondly, Halo, you're not going to see Halo 6 next year. It's not going to happen.
When
Just
did the
not.
last Halo come out?
Came
Last
out
year.
in 2015.
It
Late
takes about
last
3 years
year.
for Halo. It takes about 3 years, so
I think no. I disagree. Sorry, guys. I disagree on this one. I think we're gonna see a Halo. I think we're gonna see a proper Halo that's not
A
dynamically
Halo
flipping
or like the
scales.
remaster?
No,
No,
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing.
we're gonna
you'll
see a
see
new
that.
Halo, and they're gonna use the 6 teraflops as an advertise like a.
Okay, but here's the thing though. Okay, because we are getting Halo Wars 2 next year. I think they're gonna drop 2 Halos in one goddamn year.
Uh-huh.
But I
Yeah,
wouldn't really
they're
count.
still
That's
pushing
an
Halo 5
RTS. I
hard
wouldn't count that as a
with
first-person
free
shooter.
content every single month. They're still dropping free content every month
They're
for Halo
also
5. They're pushing that
they're
really
also
hard.
working on Halo 6 right now. They started working that like legitimately 2 weeks after it dropped.
Yeah, they did.
They actually started Halo 6 before 5 came out. That's how they do it. They started Battlefield 1 before Battlefield 4 released. That's just how they do it.
Because
So
you had Halo 4 in 2012. You had Master Chief Collection 2014. And then you had Halo 5, which was the continuation from Halo 4 in 2015. If you don't see it in 2017, I bet you'll see it in 2018. If it's a 2-year to 3-year gap.
I think it's like about
it'll
3
be
years.
18.
And I guarantee 343 wants to take advantage of this this full new
Exactly.
Microsoft technology from the Scorpio, or even from this new networking that Microsoft is doing to basically bring it to Halo. I guarantee you that's what they want to do.
I'm sure that first party studios from Microsoft, internally must have been disappointed by the specs of the system because they weren't able to showcase what they could really do. They were hampered every
Well,
step
they
of the
were
way.
disappointed that that the Xbox One came out a year after Halo 4, because that's really what Halo 4 was technically going to be for. It was going to be for the Xbox One, not the 360.
Oh, well, here's the thing. I mean, I
But
don't. They would never. I mean, now we don't have to worry about it. We can get fucking big games day one. But I don't think they would, ever probably put a Halo or Gears day one of a new console. The install base is not there. Those games cost a lot of money. You understand what I'm saying? Even though they could be,
But
as
it doesn't
consoles
matter
are.
what it by
It
the time
doesn't matter.
it doesn't
They
matter
can play
by
it
the
on
time
they can
Scorpio
play it on
comes out.
Xbox One too.
You can play it. You can
Yeah,
play
no. I know. I
you
was
can
saying I'm
play
talking
things
about Halo
across the
4.
range of the three consoles, so it
Yeah,
doesn't have to just be for Scorpio.
no. That's not what I mean. What I'm saying is, you said Halo 4 should have been for the Xbox One day one, and I was telling you that I don't think they ever would have put Halo 4 day one on Xbox One because the install base is not there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know where you
Yeah.
heard Halo 4 was for X1.
Yeah, I
'Cause
mean, don't get me
that's not
wrong,
the
it came out
case to my
and
knowledge.
it really fucking and for that game is a technical marvel because they really fucking squeezed all the fucking juice. It's a nice looking game,
Hey,
you know what I mean?
four
But this
four
way
was
you'll never see a
amazing.
God of War or or Uncharted when the PS whatever comes just up because they want the install base to be there because those games are very expensive. That's when you get your knack. We might get a rise. You know what I mean? You don't get too many.
So what
The
was
games
this
are
thing you
going
were
to be
talking
there.
about, Phil Spencer talking about future-proofing games for Xbox? I think we got
Okay.
way off track.
No, we were actually talking about it. We were
What
just
did he
talking about
say?
basically what
What
it
did
says.
he say about
Well,
his
this is what it
decision?
says here. Microsoft Project Scorpio is something that took us by surprise at E3. We knew something was coming, but it being in 4K compatible, that was a major hit. Project Scorpio will release in fall 2017, and Microsoft claims there won't be any exclusive titles released for the platform. All games will be playable across Xbox One, Xbox One S, and Xbox 4K. They stole
Yeah,
my
that's what
shit.
I just said.
AKA Project Scorpio. However, developers are already future-proofing their games for 4K, so we may see some of the current games re-released. Oh wow, in 4K for Project Scorpio. It says here. This is, I guess, it's talking to Phil. It says here many of our developers are already doing it. They're already working to bring 4K gaming to the PC environment. We can use the work that they've done to bring that to the console, and we can make sure that the Windows 10 development environment that we can put one or two features into a game to future-proof it against Scorpio, taking advantage of the dynamic scaling and things like that. A game they make for an Xbox One today will run beautifully on S and run even beautifully on and look better on Project Scorpio. This is coming from Phil. So you know what I mean. So for all they're saying that the games are not gonna look better on the, just cut your shit. Like you know what I mean. Like at the end of the day.
Yeah, just shut up. You don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, we're talking about. No. Again, and I want to say this: if you guys are out there hating on the Scorpio for whatever reason, and you're praising the Neo, they're same goddamn. We know one's more powerful than the other, but Sony's not going to have any exclusive Neo titles. You're going to have a base mode and a Neo mode. I don't know how Microsoft. I think it's going to scale to automatic what you got. You ain't got to go flip a switch or nothing. You know what I mean? And choose what you want. You know what I mean? But is they're basically they're taking. Well, even Yoshida came out and said that the PS4 Neo is just a more enhanced PlayStation 4, and the same thing with the Xbox Scorpio. It's just a more advanced Xbox One. It's
Well,
not the
yeah, because
Xbox
the whole
Two or whatever the fuck.
they want they want an end, they want a middle, and they want a high end spectrum of the same thing that
Yeah.
works all across.
So I think we may be out of the whole generation. That's just my theory, just going forward. I think well, Phil even said this ain't my theory. Phil said no longer will your controls get old, no longer will your games get old. That's why one thing the PC gamers don't like consoles because they're still playing games from '88 on their same platform. We're gonna finally be able to.
Plan that on your emulator, right?
Yeah, I'm saying probably shit whatever they bought on Steam from 10 years ago still works on fucking Steam. Whatever the
Yeah,
fuck
it's
they
true.
bought, you know what I mean?
If it
So
works when they buy it in the first place, yeah.
yeah, there you go. That's another fucking story. That's why I'm sick of console. And again, and I've said this
That's why I'm
before.
a fan of certification.
Yeah, but no, that's why I'm a fan of better optimization on consoles. You know what I mean? I understand that I can run a game and it look 30, 50 times better than just doing on console, but games on PC are poorly optimized. First of all, I use a
Depends,
fucking
yeah.
controller. I use a fucking controller. You know what I mean? And to me, the controls always felt like fucking kind of clunky on a fucking computer. And I don't want to use a fucking mouse keyboard. It can suck my balls like chickadee balls. You know what I mean? I don't
I
want to
gotta
do
say,
it.
I gotta say something on this.
Yeah.
When when we switched over to Windows 10
Yes.
and these consoles went to x86,
Yes.
I think this really helped PC, to be honest with you,
Yes, it did.
because a lot of the work was already done. So, honest to tell you, I would have to say, out of 100 PC games that have launched recently, I would say maybe two have had problems,
But
or three have had problems, and the rest it's been pretty smooth sailing. I have to say
I
that
see. Well, here's the thing,
it's been
though.
smooth sailing.
This
And
this one always
I hate keyboard and mouse. It's just fucking
no.
retarded.
Let me revert. This is what I'm saying, and would always be the issue. There are 1,000 different variables when it comes to PC. You can have 2 gigs of RAM. I can have 8. You understand what I'm saying? You have they make it for the lowest specs possible. That's what they think, and maybe for the high. And you fall whether in the middle between. You know what I mean? And they're always not saying always late, but PC getting their patches. Hey, fine, fuck you, motherfuckers. When they sell enough copies, to stop bootlegging our shit. Then we give you out some attention. But what I'm saying is this, and you can, and no, I guess PC they get so sensitive about that shit here, but if you take whatever rumor specs that are in the Xbox Scorpio, you say about it costs you about $1,500 in the rig, okay? Even if you take a PC with the same specs as the Scorpio, that Scorpio would fuck the shit out that motherfucking PC because games are fully optimized to whatever set specs are in that console. It's not going to be the same way with PC. You know what I mean? And, that's what it is. And you ain't worry about shit crashing, getting the blue screen to death, and all that bullshit, man.
Like you said, there's like a billion
No,
different parts in a PC, right?
Yeah,
So this is something else you tell people to say.
CPU.
Well, because it's running. Well, they'll say it's running.
Oh, you're going in and out. Say it again. Come in. You came in and out.
Of the full power.
Hello.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Say it now. We can hear you now.
All right. Anyway, you've heard a few people saying, well, the game will be on X1, so it can't look as good as it can on Scorpio, right? We've all heard this.
Yes.
And really, that's really stupid because you've got people using old NVIDIA GT 545 graphics cards, like just garbage by today's standards. I mean, the PC gamer is the lowest common denominator right now. They are because these guys, some of these guys are gaming on hardware way weaker than the X1 and PS4.
Yes,
that's just a fact. And
yeah.
The games still work just great. And those same games can scale up to be some of the best looking titles that there are right now. Because they're running on the hardware, they can ramp up the settings. Mm-hmm. So it's the same thing from X1 or PS4 to PS4 Neo or Scorpio. They're just going to be able to ramp it up. It's not going to be held back in any way.
Yeah, I agree with Dealer. It's just that the Scorpio will allow the game to be amped up to that 4K setting, and the regular, either the Xbox One vanilla or the Xbox One S will still have that default setting already there. So regardless whether you have a 1080p TV or you have a 4K TV, you'll be able to.
There's gonna be a flag in the code that basically sees what system you have, and it gives you the game according to your specs.
Let me ask you guys a question. Do you see it, guys?
And that's not, if you bring up your task manager on your PC, it tells you all the hardware you're running. It's the same thing there, but it'll be on a console. It knows what console you're running, and it just you don't.
Well, let me ask you a question. Do you think, from both sides, do you think there's going to be where you quote unquote a civil war? What do you got? I got the Scorpio. What do you got? I got the Xbox One S. What do you got? What do you got? Because listen, look, you got weirdos that painted bill like Omiziago. He in the comment section right now said the PS4. There's no need for a Neo. The regular PS4 can handle everything. No need to buy a Neo. You got them starting already on the Sony side. So you think
I'm on my phone, as you know, so I can't read the pure down syndrome. I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm just saying. But do you think there's going to be a civil war out there? You think that's going to be a new thing? Do you think that the Xbox Scorpio and Neo are going to team up against the peons?
Amazing.
I mean, I'm sure I'm sure there'll be some comparison, but it's really how deep your wallet is and what kind of preference of gaming you prefer.
What I'm saying, you think it's going to be like us against them? Maybe the Scorpio and Neo owners would team up against, and we look at the Xbox One S on the regular PS4 guys like they're fucking console pests.
I don't think it's going to get like that. Unless you have like a really large fanboy that is totally out of it, I highly doubt you'll see something like that.
And really, if he's that hardcore, he should just go to
Xbox family. So you're basically arguing with your own family, and that's kind of screwed up.
Yeah, I go because I'm saying they start this shit already. Amazing. Only thing the Neo would bring is performance. This is aimed at PC gamers. PC gamers value performance over visuals, but you listen to Xbox. Like the fuck, shut up. You ain't even got a PS4. Get a PS4, bitch. Then you pick a side. He's still on the PS3. Yeah, he's still on the PS3.
That's why he thinks
man.
it can. That's why he thinks it can handle everything, because he ain't never played it. He never saw it in frame.
He needs to get a job.
You don't have the proof to show us.
Yeah, that's why he said
that's
Well, I mean, it's the reason Uncharted 4 multiplayer is at 900p. You know, it's not. You know, it obviously can't handle everything. The game looks good, but don't get me wrong. Like, mark my words, it ain't gonna get no better as time goes on. Engines are gonna get more demanding. They always have been. So, good luck there handling everything, Amazio or whatever the fuck your name is.
That's a good point. It ain't gonna get no better than that. What you see is what you got. You know what I mean? That's the ceiling. You've seen the ceiling already for the PS4.
That's the great thing with the Neo and the fucking Scorpios. You're already past the ceiling of, hey, this looks amazing. You're on the cherry on top resolution bullshit. You know, you can just scale that down and keep the visuals up.
The thing I like about what Microsoft is doing, they're building something for everybody, so it pleases every type of gamer, no matter if you play on PC.
You better have a good price point. That's all I gotta say for it to please me.
Well, $299 for 500 gigs. Is that a good price point for you? I'm talking about the S, by the way. I'm talking about the Scorpio. I don't see being below $500.
Yeah, Scorpio needs to be $500. This week they released some news saying that they're gonna have an incentive for trading in your old console.
Yeah, I've heard about that. Yeah.
Give me at least $150 off of it. You know, when I trade in my console, and I pick up the system for $350. I'm down, man. That's phenomenal.
Bro, they ain't gotta give me shit. I'm buying that motherfucker day one.
And those Xbox One S's are gonna hold their value so much better because that HD Blu-ray player and all.
Yeah.
That.
Yes,
it's already selling like hotcakes on Amazon, so I can, this early, I can see it going.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well.
But but Microsoft is uniting the actual the gaming concept across all platforms.
Fuck those PC weirdos.
I don't understand how people aren't talking more about the Xbox One S. This is like 30 days away, man. We're gonna have HDR gaming, 4K upscaling, man. Like,
yeah.
HDR movies,
things, bro. It's like unless you've seen it, they don't know.
HDR movies, oh my god, they blow my mind. I can't even imagine HDR gaming. I'm so excited, man.
Yeah, well, we're here.
I'm getting two. So I'm excited.
It comes out August 4th. When is it?
It's August 31st. It's August 31st.
Okay, I thought it came out at the beginning.
I think it's earlier in August. I think it's kind of a placeholder. They're seeing how many orders they can push out. So I think the 31st is probably the latest date, but I think it's coming like maybe mid-August.
Okay. Well. Either way. Show see the PS4 Neo. So I wonder what the console looks like. What it looks like. They say they're supposed to rumor to come out with a Slim. So Sony's going to do away with the vanilla quote unquote PS4.
But see, if I think that if you give ponies the choice between a Slim and a Neo, your vanilla PS4 for, like you said, next to those that just bought one,
probably just clearing out stock.
You're trying to make money, but which one are you going to buy? And no casual gamer is going to buy all three. They don't have to.
The Neo again is going to be for the hardcore day one. And then the Slim will be for the people who just probably getting their PS4, the kids or whatever the fuck. You know what I mean?
Or the casual Blu-ray player.
There you go. Same shit. 4K Blu-ray player. They don't give a fuck about gaming, or whatever the fuck the case may be. But I think the Neo probably about $450. You know what I mean? And probably drop that bitch down to $400 when the Scorpio comes out. So Microsoft is still more than $100 more than the Neo. That's I say $450 for the Neo, and they're gonna drop it about $50 by the time the Scorpio comes out. You know what I mean? That's just my prediction.
You think they're gonna go that high?
For the Neo, yeah, they're gonna. The PS4 is still $350.
Do you think they'll make a combo package with the VR headset and the Neo?
Probably so. About if they do, I would buy it. Probably about $800 or so. If they do or so. $850. I'm not gonna spend $900, but if it was $800, I'll buy it. You know what I mean? If it was $800, I'll buy that bitch. You know what I mean? But ladies and gentlemen, thank you for rocking out with this week's Xbox Beast Fire. Hope you guys liked it, enjoyed it, and if your grandmother got a fat ass, don't give her TV production. His balls are sweaty, man. We out of here. We out of here. Boo boo boo.